Hey everyone. Want to get into this video today. We're gonna talk about how oftentimes when people disengage and leave the narcissist, right, and you become when you start to heal and when you start to regain your sense of value and self worth and respect back, when you begin to start enjoying life and having a clear, sound mind about the situation as a whole, when you are no longer confused and, fence walking, drifting back and forth, lying in limbo over the completion, the ending of a narcissistic type situation, from leaving the grasp or escaping the manipulation, exiting the funhouse when dealing with a narcissist. A lot of people ask, well, what does a narcissist think, or how do they feel once you have moved on and you are really healing, when you're happy, when you're contented? Many of you may have found someone else. Many of you may just be happy and satisfied and have something else going on in life that fulfills you. We look at it from a standpoint of, you know our personal development, because you got to understand, this was a lot of this was probably um, already the direction you were headed in before you encountered a narcissist. You got to understand, a narcissist interaction, they deplete, they depreciate everything. So once you run into the narcissist, a lot of your virtues, the things that make you a dynamic person, begins to depreciate. And that happens because the narcissist basically feeds off of the energy, the capabilities, the productivity of the individual that they are with. So they basically strip and take away all these things from you. Now, the sick part of the dynamic with a narcissist is, even though they are the antagonists and they are the ones that's causing this situation to happen, to show you how, sick in the mind that they are. These individuals then, because they have depleted you of your 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 vibrant ways of being, and the things that makes you dynamic, because they have stripped that away from you and brought you down to a low level. Now they are ready to attack you and put you down for it and go after you for not being able to perform after being damaged, wounded, uh, by this, you know, this a lot of this stifling effect that they have on individuals. So you'll see where the narcissist has completely uh, stripped away and eradicated a lot of the happy, contented person that you were, and now they go into bashing you and putting you down for it, even though they were uh, the root source of this. These individuals were the root source and the root cause of this thing, this very thing happening to you. But now they want to step on you, right? They want to put you down. They want to further, it's like kicking a horse while it's down. They want to further damage you because now you didn't, you know, you're not living up to the person that was giving out the source of fuel that they need. So in the end, They degrade you. They belittle you. And this is the thing where to them you become like trash, right? So now they don't want you. And so now this is the discard stage, or even if they don't want you, the value that they see you as is not greater than the next new source coming that has all this vibrant energy to give off to them. So now, that person who put out so much for them and did so much, and when you're looking for that uplifting energy in return, the narcissist is nowhere to be found. The narcissist is now off working on the next target or individual to groom and victimize next. And you have to understand a narcissist. What does this look like? This looks more like in the face. Well, in the uh, in the situation of being around them, this is where they're ungrateful, unappreciative. They take things for granted. They're not giving you any acknowledgement of being valuable, special, credible, anything. So they're not giving you any acknowledgement, praise, whatever of the virtues that you've gave them that they were so satisfied with. Let me tell you, you're gonna burn out. I don't care who you are. You're gonna burn out by trying to satisfy these individuals and make them complete, make them happy. You're gonna burn out. So at this point, when a narcissist has used you up, you have nothing else to give. The narcissist sees you at the bottom of the totem pole. You're worthless to them. You're nothing. They can do better. They can get something better you know um, that really scratches that itch that they have, which is insane. It can't be satisfied. So at this point, the narcissist, they leave you for dead. Basically, they leave you for dead, or you leave and you're just depleted almost of everything. Now you have to rebuild. So once you start rebuilding and you start getting yourself back up, you start finding happiness again. You start finding that motivation that's coming from within again, and you figured them out in the situation and who they are. Um, that's a big thing because the narcissist doesn't want to accept that it's them. So they want to point the finger that it's you. You're the problem. You're the cause. So when you move on and you're doing better without them, you have to understand this is like it's a confirmation that they're not the good people that they project themselves out to be. They're not, what they believe in their grandiose minds. They're not what they uh, make themselves out to be. They're basically the exact opposite. So when a victim or a survivor leaves or gets away, moves on, becomes happy, and does better without them, it causes a major narcissistic injury that says, you know what? They're the ones that is weak, that's not about anything, that's basically, uh, you know, a piece of shit, to be blunt about it. It's them. And so, to answer the question, how do they feel? They can't stand it. They're jealous, envious. It really eats them to the core because now they have to look at the individual who they, in their mind, to make themselves feel good, they had to point out and come up with all of the explanations of why you weren't any good for them, but yet you move on and you do way better without them. That completely destroys the narrative that they try to, the false narrative that they try to, um, tell themselves in their minds about them being great and all these other things that they depend on so much to uh, regulate their emotions. So once they see you constantly doing good, constantly being happy, constantly thriving and surviving without them, and that's the key word, without them, it just basically destroys the whole defense mechanism that they built up to, you know, not depict themselves as the problem or as the defective one. And so the more they have to look at you being successful, being great, and shining in your greatness, it eats them alive. That's the last thing they want to see from a victim or a survivor that's escaped them, is for them to move on, succeed, and do better than they were with them. So, uh, to sum this up, the narcissist is extremely jealous, mad, envious, and you know, they're spilling hatred out from every part of their loins, of their body, of their spirit towards the individual who has moved on. But it's at this point they have to also accept that it is them. It's nothing that they can do. But this is why they try to get back to you, just to prove that it's not them. It's not. They don't try to get back with you to reunite, to make things right. They do it to prove that you're not doing good or as good as you think you are without them. Because remember, everything's about them. They're full of themselves. So they try to get back in just to prove that, you know, you're not really happy. You're not really good without them. And then it's all about destroying that happiness and stuff that you have anyway. So um, that's all I gotta say for this particular video, guys. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Follow me on Instagram at ASSC Direct. Tickets for Denver is coming up soon, guys. Mid-September, the first leg of the tour is kicking off in Denver. So if you're in the Denver area, go to www.asscgroup.com, not direct, but asscgroup.com. Make sure you get your tickets. San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, first leg of the tour, and be on the West Coast. Make sure you'll visit the website. Tickets are available now. I'll leave the link at the end of this video and in the description box. And I'll talk to many of you soon, and I'll see many of you soon. Have a good one.